You didn't get into the business to stare at spreadsheets, chase down invoices, or wonder why your phone stopped ringing. You got in to build something, a business, a legacy, a life on your own terms. But nobody told you how hard that actually is. Torsion Talk is for the garage door owner who's out there in the field before sunrise, solving problems nobody trains you for, and building anyway, because that's who you are. This is your industry, your conversation. Let's get into it. I'm Ryan. Welcome to Torsion Talk.
I finished doing the sales training 2 weeks ago, and the next week we had a mastermind. And so the sales training went great. I think I may have updated you guys last week. I'm not really sure, but sales training went great. We've already had amazing testimonies. I'm planning another one for September, so be on the lookout for the dates for that. It's going to probably be early September. I know for some people, especially up north, that may mess up, like going back to school or whatever. So trying to figure that out. There's never really like a good time. We just got to pick a time and go with it. Here in Georgia, we have back to school like the first 2 weeks of August. So we're back pretty early. So we're going to do probably like the first week of September. The mastermind event was one of our smallest events we've ever had. We didn't have a ton of participation. A lot of people told us that they were really busy. This is their busy season, whatever. And, but they missed out on something incredible. We had Josh Brooker from TE Certified in Atlanta. He's taken a company that he started from scratch, like bootstrap the thing from zero to $100 million. $100 million. Absolutely insane. He broke down and was like super transparent about the entire process, some of his struggles, some of their strengths, things that he made decisions on he wish he would have done different. And in my opinion, that was probably one of the best sessions that we've ever had. It was really good and tons of good takeaways. I think some of the smaller dealers probably came away a little bit overwhelmed just because $100 million. Like, that's a lot. You're talking about layers on layers on layers on layers. And what I thought was interesting about Josh was he still participates in company meetings and still participates in like trainings. He does trainings with his teams. I think that's really cool. I think as a business owner, the minute you become like completely disengaged, I think things start to go downhill a little bit. You have to stay connected somehow. And I thought his method of staying connected was really good. Plus, with him doing some of the trainings, he's able to instill some of those values that he started the company with employees that he's never met before. When you get into the 500-600 employees, it's a pretty big company. And most likely you don't even know all of the employees. So I was really fascinated by his story. That afternoon, we went to ECA Door and Gate and toured his facility, but not just to check out the facility. He's running a operating system off of cards that is pretty unique and one that I've never seen before. So I wanted to check it out in person. I wanted my team to see it, and I wanted to give this as an experience to our GDU members. I was super impressed. I think that it's going to be challenging to implement, but it prevents a lot of loopholes and issues and communication problems. And for that reason, I'm seriously considering doing this kind of pen and paper method of an operating system. So if you guys know me, you know I hate paper, and that might be a challenge. So I will say that day 2 of the mastermind was all about AI. And we deep dive into stuff. And so we worked through some AI stuff and showed everybody an avatar that I built of myself. You can tell it's AI, but it's pretty stinking close. So I'm going to continue to figure out how to duplicate myself and hopefully get to a point where I can create content like 10 times a day. because there's no way. And one of the challenges that I said at the event was I think most business owners should outsource the face of the company and hire somebody who can do full-time social media. Content creation's the future. And I think it's now too, but especially with AI and everything, all the sources that AI is pulling from. I did buy a CBR 1000 for those of you guys who were following along. I got a lot of messages. Out of all the things I say, y'all, you guys hit me up on the craziest stuff. Like I got more engagement talking about the motorcycle than anything else. So I went with the CBR 1000, but only because I went to go like check out the Chief Dark Horse, the Indian Chief Dark Horse, and they were like didn't have it. They had like a bobber dark horse or whatever. That's not what I wanted. And so like I searched everywhere. I had a dealer search and we found out there's not one in Georgia. So I took that as a sign from God. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm really happy with my decision. The CBR 1000 is freaking nasty. Like without even trying, just shifting from first to second gear. Well, what I love most about this bike before I get into that is like once you hit about 5,000 to 6,000 RPMs, I guess it's a turbo. I don't even know. But it just like kicks in and just you can just feel it almost kick you in the butt. So if you're in first gear and you're hitting like 30, 40 miles per hour, like that, it kicks in and you don't have very long to change gears between when that kicks in and to get to second gear. And what's really interesting is I don't normally like take off slow from red lights. So when I'm shifting from first to second, the front tire comes off the ground like all the time. And it is one of the most exhilarating feelings in the world. I can be stressed out or like whatever. And the minute I get on that bike and I start riding, all of it melts away. And not to mention that I probably have the most bad A helmet in the world. Like I was there at the shop and we were picking out helmets and I saw it. I was like, that one. But we need to get like a visor that just like pops. So we got a gold visor. I put it on a really colorful helmet. I'll try to post some pictures. Well, I posted something on my Facebook. You can check it out there. But it's sick. It's nasty. All right, get into what you guys really want to hear. Although I feel like the motorcycle thing was a hit because I had a bunch of you guys reach out to me asking questions, and I think you guys are crazy. And for those of you guys who were pushing the CBR, you guys are definitely crazy because it's fun. I took my daughter for a ride. She enjoyed it. All right. I'm going to go over some marketing and AI stuff for you guys because I want to be the source that keeps you up to date with everything because it's changing so freaking fast. Google rebuilt its entire ad stack around AI. Now, I don't think this is something new, but something that doing my research, I feel like I haven't like super like addressed in detail yet. So Google Marketing Live 2026 made one thing clear. Gemini is no longer just a powerful individual features. It's becoming the operating system behind all their ads. And I think like they're pushing it into workspace and all kinds of stuff. So like, but advertising, commerce, the whole platform, like Gemini is going to be the underlying under everything. So here's where it gets interesting because I'm going to be honest with you. I've not been impressed personally with like the AI part of Google Ads, and I try to stay away from it just because over the years, I feel like I've done a really good job of building my ads and targeting the markets that I want. And I'm having a really hard time with like maybe letting go. Maybe it's control freak in me. I'm not sure, but I've just not been impressed. Let's just say that. And from what I'm seeing with like other people, they're hesitant too. So I would say definitely test it. Just go into it cautiously optimistic. Okay. All right. Next thing, Apple ads are coming this summer. So when I say Apple ads, I mean Apple Maps. Now, Apple Maps has taken a stance for a very long time that privacy is like their big thing, and they've kind of like took jabs at Google in some cases about running ads everywhere. Well, now Apple's getting in the boat. If they can run ads on Apple Maps, I think this could be beneficial for home service businesses, especially ones that have showrooms. So if you have a showroom, this would be a great opportunity for you, or maybe like a parts department, things that would drive traffic into your location. So Apple Maps ads are going to be here very shortly, and you need to be prepared for them. We're in probably one of the greatest shifts of marketing ever. And it's interesting to me because I think a lot of people, like I know for a fact, like a lot of marketing agencies are like shutting down or trying to sell, like they're scared. But I think this is the time to be the most excited, especially if you're able to adapt and adjust and learn, because we're going through the biggest shift in marketing and online advertising, digital advertising since the early 2000s, honestly. It's been that long. Maybe social media. Like once we got past Facebook, or not Facebook, but MySpace, we started seeing like ads and stuff. I don't know. I think this is the biggest shift. I think it's great for home service companies, but Apple Maps ads are going to be here this summer. Mark Annuity will be ahead of the curve on that. We are doing tons of research, trying to figure out the best way to position ourselves and position you if you are doing ads through us.
Hey guys, I just wanted to reach out to you and let you know that Surewinder is still selling amazing products. Some of you guys have been dragging your feet for whatever reason. If your shoulder hurts, do not waste time. Pull the trigger. I just bought 4 or 5 of them, and we had 2 guys out. You know how much it cost me to pay for 2 guys being out with bad shoulders? We just pulled the trigger and we said, listen, everybody's going to have one on a truck. It's mandatory. You got to use it. Don't hesitate. Don't wait till your guys go down. It's going to cost you more. Buy a Surewinder.
Hey guys, I found something that changed my business and I want to share it with you. We've created packages that have included some of the best products in our industry to offer our service customers. The heart of that package is Stealth Hardware Kit. Stealth Hardware is the quietest hinges on the market. I challenge you to buy at least one of these, test it for yourself. Put it on your truck and design a quiet performance package for your customers willing to pay for a better, smoother running door. Buy your Stealth Hardware Kit at Service Spring, do a search for quiet hinge, and then buy that. You can buy a double or single door, 7 or 8 foot tall, and promise you, it'll change your service forever.
Somer USA and Somer Group want to thank you for an incredible year and the trust you put in them and their products. As you know, Somer places high value on relationships, education, customer service, innovation, and professionalism. And they are grateful to you for your part in the fostering and dissemination of these values. If there is any way Somer can support you in your journey, whether through their products, the values they hold to, or the knowledge Somer has gained through interaction with door dealers across the world, please reach out to the team at your convenience. They are here to serve you. Again, thank you from the entire Somer team. Check them out at somerusa.com. Tell them Ryan sent you.
All right, ChatGPT ads are live. We actually walked people through setting up their ChatGPT ads at the mastermind here in Atlanta this past week. And it's not overly complicated to set it up. Just going to be honest with you. And it's not overly expensive either. One thing I will tell you is that it is pretty effective. We have seen some great results from it. We are working on conversion tracking. They just rolled that out like a week ago, but these ads have only been live for a few weeks and not many people are on it. This is a great opportunity for garage door companies, home service businesses to jump on something early, get first movers advantage. If you're not doing this, you're missing the boat. Like, even if it only is great for 30 days or 90 days or 6 months, That's 30, 90, or 6 months that you could be dominating the space. I'm telling you guys right now, you should be doing ChatGPT ads. If you're interested and don't want to deal with it and like the learning curve of it all, hit us up. We're running a promotion right now. If you want to join us, we will set your ad campaign up. We will monitor it, manage it, the whole bit. It's very inexpensive. Just hit me up, let me know, and I'll get you going. I will say that I do expect this platform to evolve over time. We do have an agency account with them. However, there's some issues with that. So what we're doing right now is that people that want us to manage them, we're having them set it up. We're walking them through the setup and then adding us as a user, and then we're going in and finishing it off. So hope that helps. But from what I'm seeing, I'm getting clicks for like $2 and some change for garage door related stuff. This is huge in my opinion. And I think it's going to be very effective. So definitely highly, highly, highly recommend jumping on this train. It's so early that you can dominate and it's so cheap. All right. Apple blew up the Siri, whatever. I want to say that when I read this, I was kind of shocked because Apple historically doesn't play well with others. They want everything to be in their ecosystem. But I'm going to tell you something that's probably about to change the landscape even faster than I keep telling you. When I say that things are happening at an unprecedented pace, and I think companies like Apple giving up the rights to have their AI embedded in the phone is freaking unbelievable, y'all. Like unbelievable. I never in a million years would have thought this, but let me read this to you. At WWDC 2026, Apple confirmed that iOS 27, iPad OS 27, and Mac OS 27 will let users choose which AI model powers Apple intelligence features. ChatGPT, Google Gemini. Listen, Google and Apple hate each other. It's crazy that they've partnered with Google for Gemini to be part of your phone. Nuts. Or Anthropic's Claude. Each model has its own distinct voice to users, so users know which ones responded. Gemini is the default. That Gemini deal, it's worth roughly $1 billion per year to Google. So Google's generating additional revenue now with a relationship with Apple, which is good for them. Maybe they'll stop being so greedy on the ad side and start fighting some of the spam. Woot woot. Can I get a woot woot? Okay, no, that's fine. This is the biggest AI platform shift Apple has made in a decade, and it effectively turns over 1 billion Apple devices into an open AI marketplace. For contractors, this matters because your customers are using these tools to research and find local service businesses. Guys, I'm screaming from the rooftops. If you want to be found in AI, please do SEO. It's the same freaking thing. Okay, I said it. I said it like quietly because I don't want your competitors to hear it. I know I'm in a weird mood today, so I apologize. I don't even like open AI, so I'm going to skip this one. Well, no, it's relevant. Okay. OpenAI launched ChatGPT, GPT 5.4. AI that can actually use your computer. This is not new, y'all. But to have like an LLM launch something like this, it is news, I guess. I mean, we kind of have this with Claude Cowork a little bit, maybe. But there's two ways that you can have AI operate things. The most intriguing to me is to give it control of your computer and let it actually click like it's a human. The great thing about that is you don't need APIs, and there's a lot less restrictions on things that you can do because APIs are, let me explain what APIs are, because I use this term a lot and I hear people tell me they don't know what it means. So an API is simply a connection between two software. Okay. So if you want to transfer information from one software to the other, or have an action taken on a software but you got to access it from one thing to the other. An API makes that happen. Now, when an API is created, a lot of times it comes with a lot of security features and lockdowns. And what I mean by that is you can have an API that does specific things and doesn't allow for other things. And so this can be one of the most frustrating parts of being a home service business, is that you research software that's like API friendly, or what I like to call open API. An open API means that it's open, meaning that you can do a lot of stuff with it and they don't lock it down. And a lot of people, a lot of software companies will say they have an open API, but really they don't. And so you can sometimes custom build APIs, but there's a lot of restrictions in the home service space with all this dispatch software. So for that reason, I'm going to tell you, I don't feel like there's any true open API in the home service industry, which is why I would love to build my own software and make that happen. So to avoid the restrictions of the APIs and the security issues that you have with APIs, you can actually have AI on a desktop computer, and it can actually navigate like with a mouse and keyboard and type, and it can click on things. And so it can operate on your behalf, which is really cool, because if you're a home service business, there's a lot of need for that. ChatGPT is enabling that, and something to consider. Now, there's other platforms that do that. I've talked about it before. OpenClaw can do it. You can download that on your computer. There's others. So it's news, but it's not really news. Sorry I spent so much time on it. All three major AI CEOs appeared before world leaders. Federal AI law is coming. This is going to be interesting because the government's always late to the party, right? So like AI has been a thing for like 3 or 4 years, like really heavily in the news and really heavily for users. Well, now the government's getting involved. And I want to say that I think they're getting involved for a particular reason, but most recently something happened where the government kind of overreached into commerce. So for those of you guys who aren't familiar, and I think I'm saying it right, but it's Claude Mythos. Claude Mythos is so powerful that they were scared to release it to the public. And so what they did was they released it to the major corporations, Microsoft, Google, Apple. So they let them use it first, because the power of Mythos is exactly what a average hacker would need to automatically become the world's greatest hacker. Mythos is one of the most dangerous updates ever to hit AI in AI history. It changes everything for you, for me, our banking system, all the major platforms we use. It changes everything. So what they did was Claude rolled out a version of Mythos to the general public. Okay. And within just like 1 or 2 days, someone was able to use Fable, which is the update that was released to the public, to essentially jailbreak itself, meaning all the parameters were off. So they filmed a video and apparently posted online. Word got out, and now the most dangerous software in the world is out in the general public. So the government stepped in and shut it down. And so Fable is no longer an option. You can't use it. It was only in the public for like 4 or 5 days, I believe, and completely got shut down. So anyway, there's a lot of talk about AI safety and things like that. I think you guys need to probably pay attention to this. I think AI is really important for you guys to be using and learning. But at the same time, safety and security is probably the most important. So when you're looking at this, I would say, please consider this safety and security. And this is I'm not trying to like plug my stuff, but I'm on the forefront of this, and the people I'm connected to are on the forefront of this. And I pay attention to all this AI stuff, and we pass that down to our GDU members. We have meetings every 2 weeks where we go over AI development, AI tools we're building. Austin just built like a pricing calculator that you can embed on a website. You can have it branded your colors, all kinds of stuff. It's really neat, something that's free and available to our members. So we're doing a lot. So if you want to be involved in that and be on the forefront of all of this stuff, make sure you hit us up, garagereu.com. If you're interested in us running ads for you or on the behalf of you, check out markannuity.com. And I want to say thank you for you guys following along on the podcast, and thank you to all of our sponsors. You guys are such a blessing. We love you. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'll let you later.